Assalamualaikum students. All of you please open your readers. Page number page number 70. Page number 70. Okay, all of you open your readers, page number 70. Okay, from here. Don't worry, Lavender, you'll soon catch up, Miss Honey said, lying through her teeth. Okay? This story is about Miss Honey and her first introduction with Matilda. How she liked Matilda and how she was surprised to know about her abilities. Okay? Who is going to read now? Raise your hand. Who will read? Yes, Khatija. Start reading from Don't Worry, Lavender. Yes. Yes, Khatija. Who will read now? Okay. Subhan. Beta, you need to unmute your mic. Yes. Yes, Musaf.
Don't worry, Lavender, you'll soon catch up, Miss Honey said, lying through her teeth. At this point, Miss Honey could not resist the temptation of exploring still further the mind of this astonishing child. She knew that she ought to be paying some attention to the rest of the class, but she was altogether too excited to let the matter rest. Well, she said, pretending to address the whole class, let you leave some for the movement and see if any of you have begun to learn to spell. Hands up, hands up, anyone who can spell cat. Three hands went up. They belonged to Lavender, a small boy called Nigel, and to Matilda,
Nigel. Nigel.
Nigel,
Nigel.
and
Okay.
to Matilda. Spell cat. Nigel. Nigel spelled it. Miss Honey
Nigel.
now
Nigel.
decided. Nigel spelled it. Miss Honey now decided to ask a question that normally she would not have dreamed of asking the class on its first day. I wonder, she said, whether any of you three who know how to spell cat have learned how to read a whole group of words when they are strung together in a sentence. I have, Nigel said. So have I, Lavender said. Miss Honey went to the blackboard and wrote with her white chalk the sentence. I have already begun to learn how to read long sentences. She had purposely made it difficult, and she knew that three there
There
were
were
precious
precious,
there were precious few
precious.
precious few 5 year olds around who would be able to manage it. Can you tell me what that says, Nigel? She asked. That's too hard, Nigel said. Lavender, the first word is I, Lavender said. Can any of you read the whole sentence? Miss Honey asked, waiting for waiting for the yes that she felt certain was going to come from Matilda. Yes, Matilda said. Go ahead, Miss Honey said. Matilda read the sentence without any
Hesitation.
hesitation at all.
Okay,
That
Musaf,
really
good. Good. First, let me explain till here quickly, then. Okay, now, Miss Honey knew this thing that she was not asking any other question from the class and she was only interested in Matilda. Okay, but she wanted to know more about her. So she started asking that if anybody could spell cat. So three hands went up. So first hand was of Lavender, then there was a small boy, he was called Nigel, and then was Matilda. Okay. Then Miss Honey decided to give them a big sentence. She wrote a big sentence on the board, and the sentence was, I have already begun to learn how to read long sentences. And she wrote the sentence on purpose. She knew that Matilda would be able to read it. She just wanted to see that how many 5-year-old children could read it. So Nicole said, that's too hard. I can't read it. And Lavender said, the first word is I. Then Miss Honey asked the whole class if anybody can read the whole sentence. So obviously the answer came from Matilda. And she read the whole sentence without any hesitation, means without any confusion. Okay? That really is very good. Indeed, Miss Honey said, making the understatement of her life. How much can you read, Matilda? I think I can read most things, Miss Honey, Matilda said, although I'm afraid I can't always understand the meanings. Okay. So Miss Honey asked Matilda that how far you can read, how much you can read. So Matilda said that I can read, but I am afraid that sometimes I do not understand the meanings. Okay. From Miss Honey got to her feet. Who will read now? Raise your hand. Who will read? Musaf, you have read? Other than Musaf, okay, Roma. Yes, Roma. Unmute your mic, Roma. I've unmuted you.
Miss Honey got to her feet and walked smartly off the room, but was back in 30 seconds, carrying a thick book. She opened it at random and placed it on Matilda's desk. This book, uh, this is a book
This
of
is a
humorous poetry. She
humorous
said,
poetry.
"See if you can read that. Read, read that one aloud, smoothly, without a pause and at a nice speed. Matilda began to read an, an
Epicure, an
epicure
epicure
dinner at
dining,
Trivy
dining at
found a
Crewe
rather large mouse in in the stew.
in his
Carried
stew.
the waiter,
Spied the
don't shout,
waiter,
and wave it about, for the or the rest will be waiting.
wanting.
1 2 Several children saw the funny side of the rhyme and laughed. Miss Honey said, "Do you know what an epicure is, Matilda? It is someone who is dainty with his
Dainty with
eating,"
his
Matilda said.
eating. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Okay, till here I will
Have you, Miss Honey said, more startled than ever. Well, Matilda, I would very much
Okay, students, we were over here. Now, due to some problems, this connection lost. So I'm going to read it. We were over here. Hmm. It is someone, look at your slides. It is someone who's dainty with his eating. I was telling you the meaning of dainty. Dainty means like good at eating something. Okay? Type of poetry is called, it's called a limerick. Limerick, children, is a funny poem. It is a funny poem of 5 lines. It has 5 lines, okay? So basically that was a limerick. That's a lovely one. It's so funny. It's a famous one, Miss Honey said, picking up the book and returning to her table in front of the class. A witty limerick. Witty means involving intelligence. Okay? Involving intelligence. So intelligence limerick is very hard to write. They look easy, but they most certainly are not. Obviously, when we are writing poetry, it's a little bit difficult because you have to make the lines rhyme with one another. Okay? I know, Matilda said. I've tried quite a few times, but mine are never any good. You have? Have you? Miss Honey said, more startled than ever. She was shocked that Matilda was able to write limericks because limericks is very difficult and adult or big children can write it. Well, Matilda, I would very much like to hear one of these limericks you say you have written. Could you try to remember one for us? Okay, now after this, who is going to read it? Yes, Tabi. Start reading. Tabeen, start reading. Okay, Tahir, you read. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
If a fame, well, Matilda said, hes-
Hesitating.
hesitating. I am actually been trying to make up one about you, Miss Honey, while you've been sitting here. About me? Miss Honey cried. Well, we certainly got
We
to
have
hear that
certainly
one.
got to.
Got to hear that one, haven't we? I don't think I want to say it, Miss Honey. Please tell me it.
Tell it.
Miss Honey said, I promise I won't mind. I think you will, Miss Honey, because I have to use your first name to make things rhyme, and that's why I don't want to say it. How do you know my first name? Miss Honey said, I heard another teacher calling you by it just before we came in. Matilda said, she called you Jenny. I insist upon hearing the limerick,
Miss
Miss
Limerick.
Honey said, smiling one of her rare smiles. Stand up and recite it reluctantly,
Reluctantly. Reluctantly.
reluctantly. Matilda stood up and very slowly, very nervously, she recited her
Limerick.
limerick. The thing we all ask about Jenny is surely there can not be many young girls in the place with so lovely a face. The answer is the
The
answer to
answer to
that
that is
is not
not
any.
any. Okay. Okay, Tahir. I'm going to explain till here. So as Matilda said to Miss Honey that I have been writing, I have trying to write a few times limerick. So Miss Honey was extremely amazed and she said, okay, if you have written any limerick, I would like to hear from you. Well, Matilda said, hesitating, I've actually been trying to make up one about you, Miss Honey, while we have been sitting here. So Matilda was making a limerick about Miss Honey. Miss Honey was shocked. She said, "About me?" She said, "Yes, I don't think I want to say it, Miss Honey. Please tell it. I promise I won't mind." "I think you will, Miss Honey, because I have to use your first name to make things rhyme, and that's why I don't want to say it." So Miss Honey insisted Matilda to tell the limerick, but Matilda was hesitating. She said that you are going to mind because she has to use Miss Honey's first name. First name of Miss Honey was Jenny. "I insist upon hearing this limerick," Miss Honey said, "but I insist you to tell me this limerick. Stand up and recite it." Reluctantly, reluctantly means unwillingly. Okay, if you do not want to do something, but you have to, unwillingly. So Matilda stood up and she started reciting her limerick. "The thing we all ask about Jenny is surely there cannot be many young girls in the place with so lovely a face. The answer to that is not any." Okay? The whole of Miss Honey's pale and pleasant face blushed a brilliant scarlet. Her face, Miss Honey's face, changed her color to red. Scarlet means red. She started blushing and then she smiled. A big smile appeared on her face. Now who will read? Hurry up. Yes. Muzammil. Yes, Muzammil. Unmute your mic.
Yes, teacher.
Start reading. Page number 74.
Teacher,
Page number 74. Start reading.
teacher, teacher, I need a
Okay. Hurry, Mujib. Beta, you have the books with you. "Why, thank you, Matilda," she said, still smiling. "Although it is not true, it is really a very good limerick. Oh dear, I must try to remember that one." So Miss Honey, she was extremely happy to hear the limerick. Okay. From the third row desk, Lavender said, "It's good, I like it." "It's true as well," a small boy called Rupert said. "Of course, it's true," Nickel said. So all the children started saying one thing or the other. Lavender said, "It's a good limerick." Then Rupert said, "Yes, it's true as well." And Nickel said, "Yes, it's true. Miss Honey is lovely and she is a nice teacher." It's page number 74. Page number 74. Already the whole class had begun to warm towards Miss Honey, although as yet she had already taken any notice of any of them except Matilda. "Who taught you to read, Matilda?" "I just sort of taught myself, Miss Honey." So Miss Honey asked Matilda that who taught you. So Miss Matilda said that I have taught myself. "And have you read any books all by yourself? Any children's books, I mean?" "I have read all the ones that are in the public library in the High Street, Miss Honey." "And did you like them?" "I liked some of them very much indeed, but I thought others were fairly dull." "Tell me one that you like." "I like The Lion, The Witch and the Wardrobe. I think Mr. C.S. Lewis is a very good writer, but he has one failing. There are no funny bits in his books." Okay, so Matilda said that I like some of the storybooks, and I like The Lion, The Witch and the Wardrobe. And she said that Mr. C.S. Lewis is a very good writer, but he never writes any funny things in his books. "You are right there," Miss Honey said. "There aren't many funny bits in Mr. Tolkien either," Matilda said. "Do you think that all children's books ought to have funny bits in them?" "I do," Matilda said. "Children are not so serious as grown-ups and they love to laugh." So Matilda said that I think there should be some funny bits in the storybooks for children because children are not serious. They just want to have some funny parts in the stories. Miss Honey was astounded by the wisdom of this tiny girl. She said, "And what are you going to do now that you have read all the children's books?" "I'm reading other books," Matilda said. "I borrow them from the library. Mrs. Phelps is very kind to me. She helps me to choose them." Miss Honey was leaning far forward over her work table and gazing in wonder at the child. She had completely forgotten now about the rest of the class. "What are the books?" she murmured. "I'm very fond of Charles Dickens," Matilda said. "He makes me laugh a lot, especially Mr. Pickwick." At that moment, the bell in the corridor sounded for the end of the class. So, Miss Honey, she was extremely amazed to see this unbelievable and stunning child because there's no other child like her he had ever seen. Okay? Now, the next chapter, Miss Trunchbull. Quickly start reading. Who will read now? Raise your hand. The Trunchbull, the headmistress of the school. Yes, Musaf.
The Trunchbull. In the interval, Miss Honey left the classroom and headed straight for the headmistress' study. She felt wildly excited. She had just met a small girl who possessed, or so it seemed to her, quite extraordinary qualities for brilliance. There had not been time yet to find out exactly how brilliant the child was, but Miss Honey had learned enough to realize that something had to be done about it as soon as possible. It would be ridiculous to leave a child like that stuck in the bottom form. Normally, Miss Honey was
Okay,
terrified
so
to
during
the
the
headmistress.
wait, Musaf. So during the interval time, Miss Honey, she quickly left the classroom. She wanted to talk to the headmistress, Miss Transfer, because she didn't want to keep the child, such a brilliant child, with the 5-year-old. That would be really ridiculous. Ridiculous means stupid, foolish. To leave a child like that in the playgroup or in the nursery class. Okay? Yes. Continue.
Normally, Miss Honey was terrified of the headmistress and kept well away from her. But at this moment, she felt ready to take on anybody. She knocked on the door of the dreaded private study. Enter, boomed the deep and
Enter.
dangerous voice of
Enter. Boom.
Enter, boomed the deep and dangerous voice of Miss Trunchbull. Miss Honey went in. Now most head teachers are chosen because they
Possess.
possess they pos-
Possess.
they possess
Possess.
they
Possess.
possess a
Possess.
number of fine qualities. They understand children and they have the children's best interest at heart. They
Heart.
are sim-
Heart.
hurt.
Musaf, it's
They
heart. Heart. Hurt is HURT.
heart
You hurt somebody. Heart.
heart.
We are
They
sympathetic.
are sympathetic. They are fair and they are deeply interested in education. Miss Trunchbull
Education.
possessed none of these qualities. Possessed none of these qualities, and how she ever got her present job was a mystery. She was above all a most formidable female. She had once been a famous athlete, and even now the muscles were still clearly in evidence. You could see them in the bull neck, in the big shoulders, in the thick arms, in the sinew wrist, and in the powerful legs. Looking at her, you got the feeling that this was someone who could bend iron bars and tear telephone
Directory.
directories in half. Her face, I'm afraid, was neither a thing of beauty nor a joy forever. She had an obstinate chin, a cruel mouth, and small, arrogant eyes.
Eyes. Okay.
Arrogant eyes.
Okay, let me explain to you here. So normally Miss Honey, she was terrified. She was afraid of the headmistress. She didn't want to go in her office and she avoid talking from her. But this thing was that, like, she really wanted to discuss about Matilda. Then she knocked at the door of her room, enter of the study room. Enter, boomed the deep and dangerous voice of Miss Sunday. She always shouted. She always said in a very big voice, like a bull. Now, head teachers are selected because they have a number of qualities, but Miss Trunchbull had none of the qualities. Okay, she was neither sympathetic, nor kind, nor educated. But so it was a mystery that how she got that job. She was above all a most formidable. I told you in the last lecture, formidable means powerful. She had once been a famous athlete, and even now the muscles were still there.